The first thing you need is a controller with an assignable pedal input, and a lot of controllers have that. The pad control, for example, has that, but you're going to use the Korg Z1 for this example. And the type of pedal, I think momentary pedals work best, like this, non-latching pedal, and having it set up to perform a momentary function instead of a toggle function, I think is more reliable. Alright, it does work with toggle, but I just think momentary is more reliable. This is Live's blank template. Alright, we're just going to edit this for our purposes. First of all, we're going to turn off this keyboard switch so we can use keyboard keys to control stuff. We only need one scene, so we're going to delete all these scenes. Alright, we don't need this audio track, so we'll delete that. And I'm going to insert a bunch of MIDI tracks by holding down Control-Shift-T. Alright, we want 8 MIDI tracks. I'm going to turn overdub off because we don't really need that in this setup. We could just add additional tracks if we need them. I'm going to set global quantize to 2 bars. That way I can record in 2-bar intervals, like a 2-bar or a 4-bar, 8-bar, 16-bar. And now we just need a key map. So I'm going to go into the key mapping mode. And first I'm going to do the track arm. Alright, so track number 1 is going to be Q, 2 is going to be W, and I'm just going to go straight up the keyboard like that. Alright, I'm going to map track select to those same keys. Alright, and I'm also going to map the metronome so I can control that and map that to number pad 0, and that's it. Alright, so now I'm going to go to options, preferences, and save the current set as template. Alright, so in Translator, under MIDI in, we're going to select the port that we have our keyboard connected to. For MIDI out, we're going to select the first MIDI yoke output port. And then in Live, under options, preferences, MIDI sync, for our keyboard, we're going to turn on the track switch. And then for MIDI yoke, the first input, we're going to turn remote on. Alright, so first we're going to create 8 presets. Track 1 through 8. Alright, so now we have 8 presets. We'll go to this first one first. I'm going to go to Add Translator. We're going to call this one ARM/launch. Alright, double click on it. For the incoming message, we're going to click the option to capture MIDI and then press our pedal. Notice when we do that, we'll get 2 messages. One with a value of 127, one with a value of 0. Alright, we want to start with this first translator with the value of 127. Alright, then we're going to go to Outgoing, select Keystroke. Now we want this translator to ARM track 1, so we need to do the letter Q, which is the letter we mapped it to. We also want it to launch, so we're going to use Enter for that. So we're going to apply, close that. We're going to duplicate this. Alright, the second one we're going to rename Launch 2. And then for the incoming message, we're going to change that 7F for 127 to 00 for the value of 0. The outgoing message for this is just going to be Enter. Alright, and lastly we need to go to the General tab and uncheck Stop Processing. Then we'll apply that, close it. We'll duplicate that second one. And we're going to call this one Switch to 2. The incoming message is going to be the same, but on the General tab we're going to recheck Stop Processing. And the outgoing is going to be a preset change to track number 2. Alright, so this is going to switch us to track number 2. Now we're going to copy all of this. And now we're going to go to track 2 and paste it. And we just need to edit a couple of things. For this first translator, for example, this needs to be W for arming track 2, and then Enter. And then this third translator, first of all, we're going to need to rename it to Switch to 3. And then the outgoing message is going to switch to track 3. Alright, and we just set this all up for all 8 tracks the same way. We just keep copying and pasting it. The only change I'm going to make here is in track 2. When I'm arming track 2, I want to be turning off the metronome because I won't need the metronome after that. So the outgoing message for that first translator, I'm also going to have number pad 0, which is what I mapped the metronome to.